And moving on to some more breaking news coming in. Republic has now accessed a letter from the IGSP to SSP Firozpur. And in this 31-page exclusive letter that has been accessed by Republic TV, the ASL meeting was done in connection to the Prime Minister's visit. It also states as to how the field visit was also done right ahead of the Prime Minister's visit, and all the venues were also recce'd and security arrangements were also done. Let me go back to my colleague Amandeep, who continues to join us live. And Amandeep, after claims and counterclaims of the Punjab government and the authorities in concern, Republic has once again accessed this latest letter from the IGSP to the SSP Firozpur and how they had conducted an entire recce of all the venues where the Prime Minister was set to visit. But at the same time, security and related arrangements were also done.
Richa, the point is that this letter from the side of IGSPG to Punjab Police DGP, ADGP Intelligence, ADGP Law and Order, ADGP Security, SSP Firozpur, IG, DIG, this letter was marked to everyone. And in fact, minute to minute and even every single step of the security is mentioned in that letter. Then what protocol should be followed during the visit of the Prime Minister? And this letter was communicated on January 3, 2 days before Prime Minister's visit to Firozpur. And in fact, it was clearly mentioned that Prime Minister will land at Bathinda, and even after that Firozpur, Husainiwala border, satellite center inauguration, and later towards the address to political rally. And every single step of the Blue Book security protocol has been mentioned in that entire 32-page letter that was accessed by Republic Media Network exclusively. And even it was clearly mentioned on page number 12 in miscellaneous heading. Point number 3, it was clearly mentioned that NH5, that is Firozpur Moga Highway, where we are standing right now. NH5 is Firozpur Moga Highway, and it was clearly mentioned by SPG that it should be vacated. No traffic halt should be there at NH05, just because this is the road leading from Moga towards Firozpur and also touching to the rally ground also. So that is the reason. And SPG has clearly communicated that there should be no security lapses. According to the Blue Book, SPG has trained all the police officials who were grounded, and all the Punjab police officers also. They have conveyed the clear-cut instructions to the Punjab police officials, including DGP, ADGP, IG, SSP, everyone. And even it was specifically mentioned in that letter that to control the traffic, at least a sub-inspector rank officer should be deployed with a wireless communication to have communication with the control room. So if any traffic halt happened, it should be vacated, it should be controlled at the earliest with the communication of the control room of Firozpur or control room for anywhere else. And not less than a sub-inspector officer should be deployed on the road. It was clearly mentioned. Despite all these facts, despite all these facts, nothing has happened. This letter was brushed aside. These guidelines and directions has been ignored. National Highway number 5 from Moga to Firozpur was blocked since 10:30 a.m. But nobody has paid the concern.
And Amandeep, this is certainly a clear negligence, as well as in a way negligence of the state government of completely ignoring each and every detail that was shared with the state and the police authorities. And going across to my colleague Crispino, who's also joining us live from the Mumbai newsroom. And Crispino, Republic has accessed this 31-page letter right from the IGSP to the SSP Firozpur. Each and every one has been mentioned here. The ASL meeting was done in connection to this Prime Minister's visit. How there were field visits done right ahead of the Prime Minister's visit as well. Take us through some of the relevant and important points that have been shared in this letter.
Let's take a look at the letter right now that we have accessed by Suresh, IPS, IGSPG, to the top Punjab police officials, detailing the security arrangements of Prime Minister Modi. The entire itinerary which we have here of Prime Minister Modi was spelled out in advance before his visit. It clearly mentions here that no movement of any other helicopter from D04 till D02 hours of the movement of the VVIP helicopter, and all vehicles other than the motorcoach vehicles will be parked away in the parking areas. He also goes on to say here that the vehicular traffic on the NH5 Firozpur Moga road will be suitably regulated by the police. No vehicle will be allowed to stop on the stretch falling in front of the helipad. So here you can see here each and every detail has been mentioned in advance. The ASL meeting being held before Prime Minister Modi's visit to Punjab. The local police will deploy a guard for guarding the helicopters under the charge of an officer not below the rank of a sub-inspector. District administration and local police being advised to alert BSF, Army and any other security establishments to heighten the security along the international boundary in view of the Prime Minister's visit, because the location where Prime Minister was in fact trapped was near the international border. It also goes on to detail that proper arrangements should be done to mitigate any drone threat by the state police, and necessary coordination with specialist agencies like the NSG and armed forces should be done in this regard. And that we also go on to see here how the air defense mechanism should be enhanced in consultation with the Army Air Defense. So it also goes on to so the Punjab police have been informed well in advance of the itinerary of Prime Minister Modi, and all security arrangements were discussed with them at the ASL meeting. We go on to see the details mentioned. Each and every detail was given to the Punjab police, discussed with them by the top level authorities here, including the VVIP passes, the security passes to be issued for all those persons coming in close proximity with the VVIP, that was Prime Minister Modi. So tight security arrangements was well in place before his visit, and we clearly saw the breach, the extent of the breach of the Prime Minister's security on January 5th, pointing to the serious lapses on the part of the Punjab police here. And it also goes on to mention here all police and security personnel deployed in the function venue will be issued the ID cards. The duty passes specifying the area and type of duty will be ruled out. Let me also take you quickly, Richard, through page number 3 of this document here, which goes on to show us the itinerary of Prime Minister Modi. You can see here page number 3 of this document here, clearly showing Prime Minister's route from the helipad. You can see here in this paragraph here, it's mentioned here that at 12:25 at noon, he will depart from the helipad in Firozpur by road and arrive at the other site in Firozpur at 12:30 to lay the foundation stone of various projects in Punjab. So clearly the entire itinerary of Prime Minister Modi being discussed with the Punjab police, and it is the onus of the Punjab police right now. The Punjab police top officials have to answer as to why there was a breach in Prime Minister Modi's security on Jan 5th. You can see the letter being addressed to all these people here. Like my camera person to magnify all these people who have been responsible of Prime Minister's security on that day. You can see here Suresh IPS, IGSPG writing to the Director SPG, JDVS IB, DC Firozpur, SSP Firozpur, all who have been mentioned here, the DGP Punjab, ADGP Intelligence Punjab, ADGP LO Punjab, ADGP of Punjab here, the IGP Punjab, and other top Punjab police officials. So the onus is right now on the Punjab police, in fact, to clarify as to what went wrong on that day and why was the Prime Minister the center of target and why he was made to wait for 20 minutes on that flyover bridge.
All right, thank you so much, Crispino and Amandeep, for joining us. And it can only get as clear as this, where we are seeing a detailed 31-page letter that has now been accessed by Republic TV, getting us all the detailed security arrangements and recce that was already done by the officials in concern.